Hi, welcome to the 12th video of this video initiative on surviving IIM Ahmedabad, and the fourth one, which essentially deals about the relationships on campus. So, of the 7 key campus relationships, I've talked about the first 5, and here I want to talk about the people that you will meet outside of your academic and professional journey, which in many ways is the support staff on campus. I don't know if that's the perfect nomenclature. And then the bunch of people essentially who are integral to your life but are outside the walls of the campus. And in many ways, these two of are perhaps the most important relationships out of the 7 when it comes to your own mental health. At least that's my perspective on this. And I'll just describe why as I move along. As always, just go over these 4 slides. If you haven't had a chance, just pause and go over them so you have a better understanding of where I'm coming from. And more so, if not, just go and look at the first video of this particular series. So coming first to the support staff, and the first thing I think that really needs to be internalized for all of us is that they are an integral part of our success story. So many of us sometimes end up believing that our success is dependent more on some of the first 5 actors, but I feel that they are just as much a part of it. And sometimes the amount of help that they can provide, as I'll describe below, is so crucial, both in saving time and energy and providing that extra care that you need when you're so stressed out. And even more important, perhaps, to remember is that these relationships are entirely dependent on anyone's reaching out to them. They will be there, they will do their job, irrespective of whether we talk to them or not. But just interacting with them can make our lives slightly simpler. So I mentioned the 4 key relationships as I see them. The first one is with the admin staff. Frankly, I have no clue about this. I never explored, but I've heard from a lot of people that they are quite friendly on campus. At least in Ahmedabad, that's true. The second set of relationships are the security guards. In Ahmedabad, we had security guard almost every few feet. It always felt that way. And one of the best parts about the security guards and the other 2 relationships also down below are that they are unaffected by campus stresses. When I talk about batchmates and I talk about seniors, juniors, I feel all of them are in sync with the happenings on campus. Even professors and guests are somehow in the, it's a wave that's happening on campus, and those relationships are all part of that wave. Whereas these relationships are not. That's why I found them to be much more stable and reliable in terms of how I knew the interaction is going to be. And that's why perhaps I love talking to them. So with especially with security guards, I mean, I can't say for all, but the few that I have interacted with, they are so nice. They're always willing to help, and you can always get a smiling conversation. So I had few security bhaiya that I was constantly talking to, and I was like, "Arey bhaiya, kaise ho? Sab badhiya, sab badhiya." Sometimes just asking them sab badhiya and they eliciting that from you also, that sab badhiya, was also like, if I can be flippant about it, like the Three Idiot Amir Khan version of all is well. So just reach out to them. They're a smiling presence in your life on campus. Then would be the cleaning staff. The dorm bhais in the boys dorm, I don't know anything about the girls dorm, so can't say what happens there. And while the points that I'm mentioning here, they have a transactional look to them, what I'm trying to do here is say that these relationships matter independently because they're part of your life, but they can do so much more for you in your life. And those are the things that I've put here. Uh, Dom Bhais, first of all, are like a source of great information, especially in my first couple of months. A lot that I got to know about campus was from my Dom Bhaiya, who told me, who had been in the Dom for about 15 plus years, I think. And he used to tell me about stories of different rooms, stories of how the campus used to be, stories of some of our alums and what the crazy things that they did on campus. I was able to form a better connect with campus initially, not because of the professors or even my peers to a great extent. The connect with the campus itself was largely through the dorm bhaiya. So they're a great source of information in that sense. And one more thing, I mean, with information, I should also add inspiration. My dorm bhaiya, Hari Bhai in dorm 21 used to just keep repeating, Are Ahita sir, aapko ice call banne ka hai. And even though no one around me said that, thought that, he kept repeating that over and over again the first couple of months. कि आप पढ़ाई करो, आप ice call बनोगे. And that kind of, it was a small, it had a small role to play, but a role to play in like keeping my goal in front of me. And the next thing is about local help. They provide a lot of information. Ahmedabad was a new city for me, and so it is for most people who join campus. They provide a lot of local help in terms of getting to know the city better. For some projects, like I mean, this was both for personal work and for professional work. For some of my projects, I needed to do some kind of outreach on in the city, and I knew I could always count on Dom Bhaiya to give me like the first level of reach. Ki Bhaiya Ahmedabad mein kahan jana hai for something like this. So they provide a lot of local help, and sometimes like there were a couple of instances when I needed something to be repaired, and I simply didn't have the time or the energy to go outside campus and do that. And they were more than willing to help me out and actually do this, get the thing repaired on my behalf. So they can really help you in a lot of small tactical ways, but more than that, they're just a smiling presence in your life. And on this front, the last thing is about the food joints. So while there are many food joints on campus, my absolute love was in Ahmedabad, the Nescafe or the Campus Cafe, operated by Bhavesh Bhai. He was like a rock for me in the 2 years that I was there. He gave me advice on being positive. His joint was a place for me to chill and even study. It so happened that after a point of time, I just used to carry my earphones, sit there, take my study material, and just put on my earphones and study while I saw people come and go by. And he really like, in terms of local help, also he was always more than willing to provide help, and I could always count on him. And there were a couple of instances when I was absolutely stressed out and I didn't want to talk to anyone else. I just went to him for a coffee at 2 a.m. and I ended up talking to him for half an hour, 45 minutes of what was really troubling me. And for me, my story was unique, and for all of the people around me, their stories were unique. But he told me the hundreds of stories like mine he had seen, how people had gone through the same stresses before and how they have been able to emerge out of it. In many ways, in those 2 or 3 instances when I was so troubled at night, he was my counselor. No one else at that point of time could have helped. So just when I call these people support staff, a more correct thing to say would be that these relationships can really be your emotional supports on campus. So find your security guard bhaiya, find your dom bhaiya, find your Bhavesh bhai, whichever campus you're a part of, and just know that they are as important to your success as some of the other factors. And then it comes to outside the red brick wall. Three key relationships here really: family, friends, and significant other. In terms of family and friends, I would really urge you to set expectations on responses very well. And this is an area where I failed at repeatedly. Uh, Tell them how busy you are and that you will respond after a few days. What I used to do is, if someone message me in the morning, I will always say, yeah, I'll reply to you at night. And the night will come, there will be perhaps a new assignment, new kind of pressure, and I'll always forget. Towards my second year, I started setting up more benign timeline that I'll probably get back to you in a couple of days, 3 days, 4 days. And towards the end of my second year, I basically moved it to a weekly cycle. That I used to just tell everyone if they're messaging midweek, if I knew that my timetable is a little uncertain, I just usually I'll talk to you on Saturday. And then Saturday, I used to basically go through my WhatsApp and see which are the unanswered messages or the messages that I've promised that I'll reach out. And I used to try to do that. I wish I'd started this upfront, because it did happen that a couple of times I ended up making people feel bad who were counting on me to reach out to them when I promised. So set expectations very clearly and do respond when you set those expectations. It's easy to forget that. The next thing is about the significant other. You will hear on your campus that breakups happen, and it's largely flows from not setting expectations very clearly and not being able to be there for the other person. So just be mindful of that. That this was one relationship which can come under significant strain, and you have to actively solve for it. It cannot happen passively. At least that's my belief. So that's it. Uh, Three tactical advices here. One would be mark out the key dates on your calendar before you join. All the birthdays, all the anniversaries, just mark out on the calendar, because when you're on campus, your life really works on a weekly basis, not on the basis of a day of the month, but on day of the week. So you will remember when's a Monday, when's a Tuesday, when's a whatever. But you might not forget whether it's the 15th or the 17th of a month. So let Google do your work for you and remind you that, hey, it's the 15th of the month and you have to wish someone. It's a very helpful tactical thing to do. Second would be, especially for people who are joining in the first year, postpone most of your conversations and all of these things where you think you will be emotionally taxed to post the summer process, because the first 3 to 3.5 months it's going to be too busy for you to engage with people for an extended amount of time. So I don't know, people might have had different experiences here, but I think it's just easier to postpone that. Once you have got your internship, once your initial academic life is settled, then it's much easier to respond to people. And the third thing, and perhaps the most important thing here, would be reach out. I know sometimes, and this is coming from my personal experience of so many other people, that we feel our parents, our friends, our significant other who are outside of campus, who do not understand the rigor that we are going through, that reaching out to them won't help, they will not understand. Yes, they might not understand how much reading material you have, but all of these people understand the language of stress. If you are stressed out, you don't need to explain the particulars of a situation. Please do not forget to reach out. Sometimes, and this is true for at least my sets of friends, it does get lonely when the workload is too high, when your expectations are not matching up with the result, and the campus feels a little difficult to bear with. That's when you need these sets of relationships the most. Reach out to them, talk to them, even if they don't understand, you will feel better. Please mark this advice to the extent you can. So that's it. As always, check out the other case interview preparation videos on this channel. View these videos from the beginning if you've started with this one. Keep revisiting some of these ideas at the critical junctures in your journey. Share them with others who you think might benefit from them, and leave a comment if this helped you in any way. So take care, best of luck, and just stay curious.